All right, good morning, outdoorsmen. Today, as you can see there, I am at Tule Lake National Wildlife Refuge. Definitely a bucket list item for me. But as you can see, there is a blind out there, and when you look around, there is the ramp. There's not a drop of water anywhere in sight. So I don't know if it gets flooded in the fall or exactly what the deal is, but right now there is no water to be seen. I will tell you that the smell of fresh cut hay is absolutely amazing. So we are getting started with today's adventure. Obviously wanted to hit Tule Lake, also looking to get to the lava beds here in Northern California. So let's get outdoors. All right, everyone, just doubling back. Grab the binoculars, and what I thought were waterfowl blinds in the distance are actually just trees. So eyes play tricks on you and make you believe that you see things that you want to see. Binoculars say trees. Pretty amazing backdrop. This lava ridge here, and then off in the distance you can see a wide variety, well, a wide number of waterfowl blinds, and there's one right here. So I'm gonna see if I can find some water. Alright guys, I always try to show you interesting and peculiar things. This parking lot is, I wouldn't say covered, but the number of grasshoppers is really something to behold. I imagine they're here to warm up, get some heat so that they can get their day started. I mean, very interesting to see. There's a hawk using the sign, and he heads off to do some more hunting. There's some gambrel quail, and they came over here, making a go of it over on the other side. The day is off to a great start. It's a little hard to see, but the male definitely has a plume that protrudes off the top of his head forward. Maybe we'll get to see a few more. They're gonna be a little hard to see. There are a couple black deer buck out there in front of us. We'll slide up and see if we can get a little better view of them. Might be tough since they're in the weeds. 3 black-tailed bucks, 4 black-tailed bucks, and a doe. So the day is off to a great start, and pays to get up early to get out and see the great things that God has given us. Makes a lot more sense now. This road is built up, and you can see that there are paths cut in to allow boats to travel on. Interesting that this area, as the sign says, is for only if you were to shoot a duck and have it land. You cannot have a gun in this area. You would need to either walk in or send your dog in. And off in the distance, I can't see what it is, but there definitely is a duck sitting in the water there. All right, outdoorsmen, this is a massive water control structure that would bring water in from this waterway on this side and pump it in to this massive basin on this side. So really cool to see. It's interesting that this single ridge divides Tule Lake basin that I'm standing in right now from the Klamath Basin on the other side. So, I mean, literally it's probably 400 feet tall at its highest, but it has created a barrier that allows this basin to be completely distinct from the Klamath Basin to the north. I'm sorry, to the west. Very interesting. The soil on the side where it is flooded is so dry that it has kind of baked itself into tiny little mounds. But there is enough moisture, obviously, to support quite extensive growth. There's another black-tailed doe. You would really need to be paying attention to see them with the weeds almost, well, definitely covering their back. Alright, outdoorsmen, this is Tule Lake. It looks pretty shallow, and I used my binoculars before I started, and this place is covered with coots. And interestingly, it looks like they mound the, I believe it's an algae, and make their nests. It looks like there are hundreds of coot that have built nests and definitely appear to be sitting on them. I know that draw does not quite do it justice as far as zooming in, but hundreds of coot on this end of the Tule Lake. Not sure if you can hear them, but I also hear some geese. Let's keep going. Some Canada geese and some gulls of one variety or another, and then definitely there are, oh, and there's some ducks in there too that I didn't realize, and then certainly there are a fair number of coots as well. As I look across this marsh, I can't tell exactly how big it is, but I would say that definitely this is a very good example of a hemi-marsh, where off in the distance there you can see lots of the tules that the lake gets its name for, and then you also have a fairly good expanse of open water. And hemi means half, so I would say that this is a great example of a half water, half vegetation lake. Well, outdoorsman. Hundreds of geese. Just curious if you ever thought of coming to California to do waterfowl hunting. And if the beauty of the marsh wasn't enough, there's Mount Shasta. Pretty incredible. All right, outdoorsmen, got man's best friend here with me. Just wrapping up my trip to Tule Lake National Wildlife Refuge, as well as Klamath National Wildlife Refuge. Really didn't get any video. I was there pretty early. I just really couldn't believe that there was no water in the place aside from on the lake itself. Regardless though, it was awesome to see. It was definitely a bucket list for me, and I am definitely looking to get back there. To go along with that, I saw a wide variety of bird species. I love birds, and it was really cool because I was able to see Canada geese, blue-winged teal, green-winged teal, mallards, coots, grebes as far as the water species. Then I saw, as far as upland, I saw mourning doves, gambrel quail, pheasants. I saw plover, terns, gulls, ravens, saw red-winged blackbirds, and then certainly I saw some snowy egrets as well. So it was an absolutely incredible time that I was able to spend there. And if you ever get the chance to do Tule Lake or Klamath National Wildlife Refuges, I would highly recommend it. Until next time, get outdoors.